Wherever Rosie O'Donnell's gone, she's probably eating a leprechaun.
She's probably chewing on a unicorn at this point, Rosie O'Donnell. Just stumbled straight into a verbal blender again, Gutfeld and Megyn. Kelly didn't just roast her, they slow-cooked her in sarcasm and plated it with a big spoonful of, "You brought this on yourself." What happens when Rosie tries to come in swinging and ends up flopping face first into her own? Ridiculous takes. "Oh, it's beautiful, get your snacks ready." This clapback is messier than a celebrity breakdown and way more fun to watch, and wait till you hear what they said next.
She's our hero of the day for leaving America if Trump won and relocating to Ireland, where she's still not funny. So many celebs say they're going to do it but never do, but does she have any regrets?
I have no regrets. Not a day has gone by that I thought it was the wrong decision. I was welcomed with open arms. I knew after reading Project 2025 that if Trump got in, it was time for me and my non-binary child to leave the country.
If chaos had a microphone, a Twitter login, and a lifelong grudge, against logic it would be Rosie O'Donnell, sounding off like she just chugged 3 Red Bulls and failed an open mic night for attention. You'd think after 20 years of dodging success like it's a virus, she'd try something new like humility. But nope, she's doubling down like shouting louder will magically turn nonsense into brilliance.
We are about to see Miranda, the character played by Cynthia Nixon, who is so annoying, in bed with a virgin nun played by Rosie O'Donnell. I just threw up a little in my mouth. Go ahead, roll it.
Are amazing. Oh, I have never experienced anything like that.
Oh, ew.
That's a nice way to wake up.
Oh, you are really, really something.
Yeah?
Oh my God, yes. It felt so, I don't know, electric, and yet still so natural. I never dreamed my first time could be both those things.
First time?
Oh my God. I'm so grossed out, Emily. You have to talk.
Rosie's whole persona is basically that loud aunt at Thanksgiving who shows up empty-handed, complains, non-stop hijacks every convo with unwanted drama and insists on leaving with all the leftovers. She's like a microwave that won't stop beeping. Right, when you're on the edge, watching her cling to relevance feels like watching someone wreck their own car over and over and call it edgy performance art.
Mr. Trump, one of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Then Megyn Kelly and Gutfeld step in armed with receipts, eye rolls, and the exhausted energy of 2 people who've sat through one too many Rosie meltdowns. They've officially had enough of her greatest hits playlist featuring unforgettable tracks like Yelling at the Universe. It's not my fault. I swear they're all against me and the all-time fan favorite blame Trump and basically anyone but me.
But once you've decided against all evidence and reality that you are the good guy, you can excuse anything. They even push the myth that Musk is in it for himself. Have you seen Tesla's stock lately? It's lower than Rosie O'Donnell's testicles.
Slow down, because when Megyn Kelly goes in, she doesn't just criticize, she dissects. It's like watching a brain surgeon correct a raccoon. Mid-TED Talk, Megyn didn't see Rosie as a commentator or comedian or even a grown adult. She saw a walking warning sign in Crocs and Gutfeld. He came in like a substitute teacher done with the class clown. One glance at Rosie's latest rant, and he hit her with a firm, "Nope, not today, piglet." His reaction echoed what most Americans feel every
time
Rosie logs on and wrecks their peaceful morning coffee. Rosie O'Donnell is the only person who can make a talk show feel like a hostage crisis. Her time on The View wasn't TV, it was group therapy gone rogue, led by someone who thought volume equals value. Every segment turned into a one-woman show of her emotional spiral where logic tapped out and self-awareness never got the invite.
Wow, she's nuts. Hey, Apparently America couldn't be happier, but like I said, she's our hero of the day for doing what so many other celebs don't have the guts to do. Wow, first Ellen, now Rosie. Makes you wonder what lesbian will leave next. Julie, she seems miserable, and it doesn't really matter where she goes. She's trying to get away from whatever is inside her, because I looked at her and I go like, wow, she has changed.
Her debate style is basically Scream now. Explain never ask her a simple question, and you'll get a 10-minute monologue on how she's the victim of a global plot involving climate change, gluten, and fragile masculinity somewhere in there. She blamed the patriarchy for stealing her Netflix password, Greg. Gutfeld, bless his patience, tried to sum up her latest outburst and tapped out halfway because apparently you need a decoder ring, a master's in chaos, and maybe a medic to survive. Her logic, and even then the only conclusion is wait. What are you actually upset about now, Rosie? And the answer is always everything. She's mad at the clouds, mad at rich people, mad at people who aren't mad enough, mad at kitchen appliances, mad at joy itself, mad at her own reflection, but mostly mad that the world moved on and didn't ask if she was okay. Spoiler. It didn't, and Megyn Kelly was the only one bold enough to say what the rest of the internet has been muttering into their coffee mugs. Rosie, please sit down for the sake of what's left of your dignity. Stop trying to make Rosie rants a thing. It's not activism. It's the same old emotional crash loop with Wi-Fi.
The herpes virus. I'm sorry, Exhibit A. Here is Rosie O'Donnell bitching and moaning about her favorite person, Donald Trump. I think this is before she moved. I can't keep track of where she's living in the world to avoid him. Watch.
Well, hey everybody, it's Friday all day, as my Nana would say. And look what I have on my lip. Everybody's been saying you have herpes all this time, and I never had a cold sore in my life. And now I have a cold sore. And it makes me think that perhaps this weird pimple that had a tiny little head was a cold sore too. And so I talked to my doctor today, and I did a video telehealth, and they said that it's not a cold sore, it's some reaction to.
And since we're here, let's ask the real question. What is Rosie even famous for anymore? Name one recent project that wasn't just a blurry Instagram rant filmed with a toaster and powered by caffeine, chaos, and expired cold medicine. Her most reliable role these days is yelling at the sky like a rogue prophet in a clearance rack hoodie. Don't forget her acting prime when somehow every role was just Rosie playing Rosie. She's got the emotional depth of a parking meter and the grace of a jackhammer during a eulogy. If typecasting had a hall of fame, she'd get the crown for lifetime achievement in being loud and perpetually irritated. And then there's her social media, which reads like what would happen if you tossed a diva into a blender, added political confusion, a pinch of boomer Facebook energy, and hit full blast scrolling her feed. Feels like watching someone attempt emotional surgery with oven mitts and a salad fork.
Hates her. That's the same thing with Rosie. You know why she's leaving, right? We know why she's leaving. It's literally an ego trip. Once nobody likes you, you just leave.
So when are you leaving, Jesse?
It's such mundane commentary. Oh, we agree. You're so enlightened. Oh, I agree with her. Oh, yeah. Shut up. She's lying to you. She's not leaving because of her. By the way, if you keep your home in America, you're not.
Every time Rosie gets ratioed online, she treats it like some kind of achievement, like public humiliation is the new form of activism, but no. Rosie getting roasted on Twitter isn't brave, it just means you showed up uninvited again, Gutfeld compared her takes to fortune cookies from a sketchy bar, messy, greasy, and always a letdown, he said, reading. Her post feels like being trapped in a group chat with a tipsy raccoon who just discovered Wikipedia. Meanwhile, Megyn Kelly didn't hold back, she went full scorched earth digging through Rosie's career flops like an archaeologist dusting off sitcom fossils and bad hot takes. It played out like a courtroom scene where Rosie was both the accused and her own worst alibi. Rosie once said she's just misunderstood, but no, Rosie. Misunderstood is when someone mistakes your silence for arrogance. You're about as misunderstood as an air horn. During a prayer circle, the issue isn't that people can't figure Rosie O'Donnell out, it's that we figured her out completely and kind of wish We hadn't remember when she tried to rebrand as a mental health advocate, bold choice from someone whose main content strategy is acting unglued in public while yelling, "Take me seriously." Asking Rosie for sanity advice is like asking a tornado how to build a house.
Rosie O'Donnell told CNN it's heartbreaking to watch Donald Trump destroy the country from her new home of Ireland. Meanwhile, Ireland told CNN it's heartbreaking that there's not enough Guinness to make Rosie O'Donnell look pretty.
Greg Gutfeld compared Rosie's logic to a broken Roomba constantly crashing into reality, spinning in circles, making noise and somehow thinking it's changing the world. Her hot takes feel like outdated Facebook memes soaked in self-importance and reheated in pure delusion. Then came that classic moment where Rosie claimed the world's just too mean to her. Megyn Kelly blinked slowly and hit back with, "Rosie, the world handed you a talk show, a comedy career, and even Broadway, and you responded by turning every one of them into a live-action therapy session." Rosie treats interviews like confessional booths, except instead of admitting anything, she puts the entire universe on trial and somehow ends up crying about her salad being too loud. Every question ends with, "You don't know what I've been through." And honestly, no one does, because even she keeps remixing the backstory every few minutes. And of course, there's the Trump drama. Rosie made that beef her full-time identity while the rest of the world moved on, paid rent, found hobbies, and learned to let go. But not Rosie. She's still clutching that 2006 insult like it's a sacred prophecy. Even Megyn Kelly, who's seen her share of political chaos, said therapy should have stepped in by now, but instead Rosie built herself a permanent emotional Airbnb in that feud and refuses to check out.
Rosie O'Donnell apologized to Ireland's Prime Minister for overshadowing his visit to the White House. She also apologized for overshadowing the Western Hemisphere. That's a fat joke. So currently, the Democrat Party's brand is about as appealing as Rosie O'Donnell river dancing in a thong. It's so bad even Bill Maher doesn't think we'll ever see a Democrat president.
Greg Gutfeld joked that Rosie starts each day by spinning a wheel of outrage, and whoever lands on it better have a job or a filter, because that's her next target. She's basically the poster child for what happens when an oversized ego meets a shrinking audience and way too much free time. Her comedy specials now feel like pep talks from a gym teacher who got fired mid-sentence. The jokes are just sad stories wearing laugh tracks, like watching a clown sob in slow motion while begging, "Please laugh, I'm still relevant." And if you're wondering why she doesn't do stand-up anymore, maybe it's because standing there while getting booed doesn't count as cardio. Megyn Kelly didn't hold back either, saying Rosie's acting skills could easily be replaced with a sock puppet going through a crisis. The only character Rosie nails these days is the woman screaming at a barista over oat milk. And let's not forget her short-lived career in political commentary.
It's too upsetting. Anybody wanted
Donald Trump
that.
would never inflict herpes on Rosie O'Donnell. I think he's made that very clear.
Since Eliana refuses to play, Emily, I've got another soundbite for you.
I didn't even know Sex and the City was back on the air. I saw it when you
It's
were
happening.
back.
You have to react
When
live
Steve
to the
said the
herpes. I'm
topic.
sorry.
And I was like, oh, you know what? The culture stuff, that's Emily's ballywick anyway.
Here we
like,
go.
yeah.
Here we go. Here's another beauty. This is Rosie in another scene singing to Miranda. Enjoy.
Because I knew you. Because I knew you. I have been changed for good. That's for Wicked.
Gotta take yours.
Go ahead. Some comedy, finally. Finally, Rosie O'Donnell is back with
She once attempted to host a climate change panel and somehow ended up comparing it to her busted a C unit and her emotional roller coaster somewhere. Greta Thunberg probably whispered in Swedish, "Make it stop." Rosie likes to call herself a truth teller. But if truth had a restraining order, it'd have her name on it. Her idea of facts sounds more like midnight pillow screams she assumes must be valid. She's basically Alex Jones in sweatpants with show tunes, and Gutfeld didn't even bother holding back. He compared her political takes to sour milk still sitting in the fridge, still smelling awful, and still ruining your coffee every time Rosie's version of a debate is just shouting "shut up" louder than whoever disagrees with her. It's less discussion and more like off-brand WE without the moves the show. Or the dignity Megyn Kelly said watching Rosie argue politics is like watching a cat try to bark, kind of fascinating, sure, but also deeply unsettling and completely unhelpful these days. Rosie's stuck popping into random live streams lit like a haunted thrift store doll and radiating the vibe of someone who lost their remote and blames capitalism. Every stream is a mix of remember me energy and why won't anyone hire me confusion. And Rosie, here's the thing, no one's tuning in to watch a one-woman meltdown. Pretending to be performance art yelling louder won't bring relevance back. You already had the mic, the shows, the spotlight, and the headlines.